Welcome to the Double D Show. I'm Dan.
I'm Dave.
And what we're going to bring you today is the Disney's flick Saving Mr. Banks, which was done in 2013, rated PG-13.
This film here was 125 minutes long. Had two great actors in it. Had a lot of actors in it, but two top notable mentioned main characters. Emma Thompson, who played
Mrs. Travers.
Mrs. Travers.
Yep, the author of Mary Poppins.
Yep, and Tom Hanks, who played a brilliant Walt Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, the acting performances by these two people were excellent. I mean, Emma playing Mrs. Travers, I mean, from listening to the original the recordings, which was excellent that Disney put the recordings in there. The original Pamela Travers wanted her negotiations to be recorded when they were discussing the movie Mary Poppins with Disney. And going from those recordings to the performance portrayed by Mrs. Thompson was excellent. I mean, of course, you know, Mrs. Travers wanted her Mary Poppins to be portrayed the way she wanted to. I mean, by all means, I have no problems with that. It's her baby. She wants it her way.
True, she wanted every little detail the way that she wanted it and nothing else. If not, Mary Poppins would have never been made.
Yeah.
But Emma Thompson's voice acting and hearing the original tapes, it was very, very similar.
Yeah.
Which is totally good.
And plus, then you have Tom Hanks playing the legendary Walt Disney, creator of Disney itself today, and his portrayal of Walt was I couldn't see anybody else playing Walt Disney without.
Like I said before, it's just brilliant. The looks that he had. They showed an old-time picture of Walt Disney there towards the end, and the way Tom Hanks looked. I mean, it was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, from I mean, I give all credit to the costume design people, hairstylists. Yes. I mean, the whole since the movie was set in 1961. All the vehicles, attires, way people acted was excellently done for the time period. I mean, it was just a good film to give you a contrast of negotiations between Walt and her, and plus the backstory of where P.L. Travers comes from.
Yep. Which,
I mean, by all means, this is a very dramatic film meant to possibly get you to shed a tear a little bit if you are.
Yeah, there's some sad parts in it. There's comical parts, happy parts.
Yeah.
Which, it's a Disney film, you really can't not be happy in the movie at some point.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he does have the Disney World type of theme going on. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially the wager, very comical scene.
Yes, very comical scene like that. Did a really good job on that. Kind of a little bit of a comic relief in that too.
Yeah.
Well, at least for Walt Disney part himself, for Emma Thompson there, that part was kind of brought back some like sad type of memory. Well, I don't know if it was really sad, but it was just, you know, a memory that she probably didn't want to remember.
Yeah.
But all things all, it was good.
Yeah, it was definitely a good movie. For the video quality of it, I would definitely give it a 5D. I mean, it is a 2013 release. The filming production of this was top quality. I mean, you see pores on the actors' faces on extreme close-ups. The paints on the vehicles very shiny, very crisp. I mean, you could see some of the waves in it for some of the vehicles for reconstruction or whatever.
Yeah, from reconstruction, from being an older model, they didn't have, you know, pristine metalworking and all that yet. But yeah, I'll give it a 5 also. So it gets 5s all the way across the board there. Just like you said, the face details were crisp, clear. It's just like you was sitting in the room with them, talking and negotiating with them, and everything excellent. Audio quality?
The audio quality was very good. I mean, you had they brought in the music from the original Mary Poppins movie itself, from the Spoonful of Sugar, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I mean, the Jolly Holiday. I mean, they brought all the music from the film itself. Plus, they added the original musical scores for the film itself. Because they for the flashbacks to Travel's youth, they had scores when she was talking with her father and everything, which were very soulful, pleasantly sounding scores. So I mean, all in all, with everything entwined together, definitely a 5D rating for me.
On that, I'll give it a 4, just for the simple fact is, you had all this fun, upbeat music, dancing around and everything else, and at the times that it was saddened and everything, they softened the music, but at the quiet times, I feel that it was just a little too softened, because I was more into seeing what they were doing, and really didn't hear that much. It just seemed like it was a little quiet. But other than that, everything else was just spot on, crisp. All the songs, all the old songs that they brought back into this from the Mary Poppins movies, very crisp, clean sounding, just excellent. Now for your overall rating?
Out of overall, I would definitely consider this a 5D rating film. It's a very dramatic film. It will leave you happy with the fact that the troubles that Mrs. Travers had before in her youth and everything, then turn around into the positive way. The promise that Walt Disney wanted to give to her as to fulfilling what she wanted into the film. I mean, from what she wanted originally into what the finished product was. It looked like Disney didn't do everything he was supposed to do. I mean, because originally she didn't want to have any animation in it. Well, they had the penguin sequences from the Jolly Holiday area.
Well, it's kind of hard to train penguins back in 1961 to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. But I mean, all in all, I mean, the film, the Mary Poppins film itself was a really good film for the time that it was done, and she shouldn't be ashamed of that whatsoever. So I mean, as for the film, it gave a great perspective of what the negotiations would have been. I'm sure, in retrospect, the negotiations were probably a little bit tougher than told in the movie, because I don't see him going off as calmly as that for some reason, especially with the attitude that she had, that you're getting from Emma Thompson's character from the beginning of the film. I would expect a little bit more outrage than what she was showing. I don't know if that's just being the British, being polite and everything.
Well, on that whole note, for Disney, he had to be polite in that because she didn't sign the rights over yet. So if he didn't try to make her happy, then it wasn't getting done. And well, back then, they didn't really have ways of getting around that. You had to sign the rights over to them, or they didn't get to do anything. So maybe that's the way it played out. Is he didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got lawyers upon lawyers upon lawyers that will hound you, and eventually you will break and probably sign it over, or they'll make a rendition of your movie or your idea or your book and rename all the characters and have them do a little bit different and set it in a different location.
Yeah, and call it their own.
And call it their own, which, that is wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, but how often is that done today, probably?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't count that high. I only got 10 fingers. 10 toes, but I got my shoes on today. So my overall rating is going to be a 4. Just for the simple fact is at the end, you see her crying, you see Walt, try to comfort her and everything a little bit, but it doesn't show how she really felt with the movie afterwards, talking with Disney. I think that should have been.
Yeah.
I wanted to see her actually, get out in front of the press that Walt was worried about.
Yeah.
And all. I wanted to see her get out there in front of the press and express her feelings with Walt, standing there, all tense and tight, waiting for the moment for her just to burst rage forth like she did throughout most of the movie.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I give it a 4.
Yeah, it gave it. The ending was decent. I mean, like they said, like you said, they showed her crying at the end of the movie when Mr. Banks was redeemed, and everything. Since Mr. Banks was inevitably her father portrayal.
Yes.
And once that happened, I mean, she cried. I mean, she was glad that happened. But I mean, could she be happy with what 5-10 minutes of a whole movie? I mean, she might be happy with 10 minutes of the movie, and some of the pieces she looked under disgust of
The
how
penguins.
Yeah, well, we already knew about that.
I thought they were great, personally. We need dancing penguins on here. Do we got any?
Oh no, we do have an excellent zoo.
Huh. Yeah.
We'll give a call to Jack in there.
Okay. We can do that. But yeah, so this was a good movie. I'd recommend it. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a definite watching movie. I mean, since it is a Disney, is it a kid film? I would say probably not. They would probably get a little bored with it.
This is more like a documentary.
Yeah, it's definitely an adult film more than it is a kid film.
Yeah, it's more like a documentary of how Mary Poppins came about. So you got your Mary Poppins for the kiddies and adults, and you just got Saving Mr. Banks for adults.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of the situations portrayed in the movie, kids probably wouldn't understand to begin with.
Yeah.
Like what turned about for P.L. Travers' father. They probably wouldn't understand everything that comes in with that. A lot more adult situations in this film that probably younger generation would understand.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
Well, if anything, definitely always comment down at the bottom. Give us your idea what you thought of the film. Any ideas that you want us to take a look at, go ahead and bring it down here at the bottom here in the comment section. Definitely hit that like button.
Yes, also, don't forget, smash that like button down there. Show us that you like what we're doing. Help us build our confidence up. And just show us your appreciation. We would really appreciate it. Also, there will be an annotation here at the end of the film. Or at the end of the video. We already did the film, this is the video. For you to subscribe to the Double D Show. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and give that a click, and it will take you straight to our page to subscribe. I mean, you're already watching the video, but it'll pause the video, take you straight there, and you can click on subscribe and subscribe. And once you hit subscribe, it'll close that page back down, I'm pretty sure, and pop you back up to the video, and then you can finish watching the end of this. Because yes, finish watching the end of this, because got Northern View Outdoors right here. All your hunting and fishing fun times outside. Definitely go check out that page.
And don't forget about Maverick 76 Gaming over here. All your gaming needs, tricks, some ways of playing Minecraft and Guild Wars, Rust.
How to die. A lot.
I can do that too. Maybe I ought to make my own gaming.
Why don't you just join me over on mine? You can help me in Rust. That way I can invite you in.
Why, so we can have just twice as many people dying?
Yeah, well, you can help me.
Please.
Last time I invited somebody in, they killed me in my sleep and took all my stuff.
I can do that.
Well, I know you can. Come on over. I know where you live. But this is the Double D Show.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dave.
We'll catch you next time.